apps is going to be much more anticipatory, and it's not going to allow for user initiation and management. Matter of fact, what's going to happen is these wearable apps are going to always be keenly aware of the context of the situation, and preemptively then suggest basically information that's going to be of value to you at that particular moment, at just the right time, in the least intrusive manner. Okay. Moreover, one of the things that's going to be very interesting is that we're going to have app interaction that's going to go from minutes to potentially seconds in short bursts. And it has to be incredibly high value information. And let me just explain what I mean by that. So as you're thinking about building your apps, it needs to be always on, always listening, and trying to make sense of the context, the activity of the user. And when you feel that your algorithm is basically trigger, then at that point you're presenting them with the right set of information. Very different type of concept that we're talking about. Okay? Because I'm sure you guys are probably thinking something along the lines of mobile and web right development. Now, one of the things that I want to make sure that you guys are very clear is, if you're thinking that you can take your mobile and web best practices and then apply it to this futuristic set of web application development, that's going to be quite difficult. What you're going to have to do is, from a developer point of view, you have to really think very differently. Everything from the wearable design to even the low energy consumption application architecture, so that you can support an always-on mode. In addition to that, from an app designer point of view, you may be thinking the de facto user experience starts when a user actually initiates that particular application and then goes through a set of predefined workflow. But that's not going to be the case anymore. Okay? And the reason for that is a number of things. One is the fact that you have a lot of small form factors. You have locomotion issues. You have task orientation. You have immediacy. The fact that there is a higher degree of expected automation from the user point of view. And the fact that you're dealing with multi-device platform interactions. So all of that basically means that the users are getting to a point where they're expecting their wearable apps to anticipate their needs and present them with the right information at the right time. That's hugely important and very difficult to do by. And just so we get a better sense in terms of what I'm talking about, let's go through a couple of use cases as an illustration. So let's say that I'm at the shopping mall and I'm close to a particular store. Based on my geolocation and proximity to that in-store, I'm going to receive a notification on my smart glasses app saying that I just received, let's say, Abercrombie in-store deal, for instance. And when I'm actually in store shopping or I'm looking at a particular clothing piece, based on my eye tracking movement as well as the length of my gaze, my app's going to get notified and say, oh, here's some product attributes or highlights about a particular article. Matter of fact, it may actually complementary pieces that can go with your outfit as well. So it's a very different experience, and you never actually have to pull out your smartphone and activate an app. Rather, the wearable experience is very much seamlessly unified with shopping experience in this case, with very little friction. Let me give you one more use case just as an illustration. Let's say that for a weekend getaway, you decide to go to Carmel or significant other. And you go to downtown because you want to look for a restaurant. Right? So you walk up to a restaurant, and you're probably looking at a menu board. Well, your system on your wearable app is going to recognize your geolocation and the fact, if it has computer vision, that you're actually looking at a menu. It's going to automatically prompt that, oh, this restaurant has using ratings. You said, sounds interesting, but that's really not my fit. So I'm just going to start walking. The system actually knows that you're walking away. What it starts to do is it starts to leverage your historical dining experience as well as your preferences. And then it says, hey, stop. By the way, just around the corner from here, there's an Italian restaurant that's incredible dish, one of your favorites. And by the way, it has a hierarchy. So in both of the examples that I illustrated, the user never actually activated an application. case of big data and machine learning, it's all about building models. It's about predictive as well as prescriptive models, and it requires model training. So if you're using statistical pattern analysis, predictive analytics is going to be able to look at your data. It's going to look at patterns in that historical data, and then it's going to be able to help you to see if there's any trigger points or any something incredibly important that's going to help you to understand what the next potential action, what the motivation or the intent of that users. Very important. Very important. All right. So, what are some of the techniques that you can think about? Well, there's many techniques. There's neural networks. There's support vector machines, decision tree, clustering. So a lot of these concepts that IBM and other large consultancies are trying to utilize. But more so than the techniques is going to be your methodology. Because if you're thinking, I'm going to go build this incredible rules-based engine, you're false. Because if you work in any type of industries, any industry whatsoever, you recognize that the chassis of the rules engine is just that. Where the intelligence of IT is being able to customize it to an for your purpose, for your use case. All right. Let's talk about the user perspective. Do they need to know this? It's much like Google. When an average user types into Google, they have no idea what's happening behind that black box. Same thing with your wearable application. They don't need to understand this syntax. What they need to understand are what are the benefits I get from this simple sophistication. Because AI learns over time, and the algorithm needs to be refined in a iterative, lean analytics approach. So if I'm a user and I'm benefiting this, what I should derive is the fact that my suggestions are contextual, relevant, timely, helpful, actionable, efficient,